Welcome back, or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. This is day 17 of Flourish. Tunnel duck. So the duck never came out of the tunnel, or if it did, it went somewhere that we couldn't find, or the fox got it, or pursuit or trying our efforts to get the duck out of the pipe, the tunnel that goes from our garden. So there's a stream that comes out where the geese and the ducks live, and then there's a pipe going underneath the whole car park, and then across underneath the road, and then comes out in the field just above us. So the field is where there's a drain that comes down a shore underneath the river, underneath the road, and then down onto our land. So tunnel duck never arrived. But it's amazing how many people have texted me over the last few days asking me, or even like Jackie yesterday was saying, what about the duck? So yeah, tunnel duck. But Clara, who makes so much noise, quack, 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 all the time, is wonderful. Clara, and you say to her in the evening, so there's Dagbert, you say off to bed, and Dagbert gets in. And then you say to Clara, off to bed, and she starts to quack, 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 and then she walks in as well. So it's very sweet. It's very nice. We have 2 ducks at the moment, and they're very nice, Dagbert and Clara. So let's focus. So legs, range of motion and strength, more so than flexibility. So things we're going to be doing today will feel like they're hard to do. Okay, so go gently, go easy, keep meeting your range of motion, and let's feel our legs. Come. So land on your back, arrive in. Feel the sense of the floor beneath you. And so flatten your lower back into the floor, or feel your lower back on the floor. Have a sense of the shape and the connection and the weight and the place that your lower back and you are in connection to the floor. And then draw your right knee out towards the right, but don't let your lower back move, and then bring it back to center. So it's not going to go far. Right knee to the right, and straight away you're going to meet your inner thigh. Right knee to the right. And so it's like I'm rolling onto the baby toe side of my foot, but I'm not changing the shape of my pelvis. I'm just drawing my right knee a little bit to the right, and then back to center. Left side, a little bit to the left, until you get stuck is the kind of feeling of it. Come back to center, to the left, center. I have my right hand resting on the side of my belly, which gives me more connection into how do I stay stable and connected through my pelvis. Come back to center. Why not? Bring both hands to the front bones of your pelvis. And I feel like the palms of my hands are kind of pushing in a little bit. I have to go dig for the bones a bit. And so push your hands into the bones, and then draw your right knee out to the side and pause there. So you should feel like your inner thigh and something into the groin and up into your belly is being engaged. Pause. Nice. Come back to center. Left side, draw your left knee out to the left. Without letting your pelvis move, how far to the left can you bring your left leg? And find that stuck place, the end of your range, the place where you can't go any further without moving your pelvis. And just lean into that place a little bit more. So you're just really at the end of your range of motion. And come back to center. Nice. So lift your right foot up and imagine you're just about to bring your right foot to the top of the left knee, but don't do it. Pause there. So now my leg is in the air and I'm turning my right foot inwards, like as if I'm going to bring my foot to my knee. And then stretch your right leg long so it floats just above the floor. Bend your right knee like you're just about to bring your foot to the top of your knee. Don't do it. Pause and feel the spiraling of your leg, and try and spiral it more. How would you bring that right foot closer towards you and the right knee further away from you. So how would you spiral here? And then stretch your leg long. Nice. Bend your knee. Imagine you're just about to bring your foot to the top of the left knee. Pause before touching. I can feel my abdominal muscles engaging, my belly, my leg, the deep spiral of my leg. And just pause there. And then keep that turn of your leg and then drop your baby toe side of your foot to the floor. And then bring your foot as close to your left shoulder as you can without your hands. Baby toe side of your foot to the floor, knee is still out to the side. And then imagine that you can bring your right foot to your left shoulder. Like, nice. And again, baby toe side of your foot to the floor. And then imagine you can bring your foot to your shoulder. So I'm pushing my left foot down. I have this sense of spiraling into my leg. I'm working deeply into my abdominal muscles. And I'm really trying to, how would I draw my right foot closer and closer to my left knee? Pause there. Nice. Change. Lift the left foot up. Bring it to just above your right knee and pause there. Just feel that spiraling outwards. Stretch your leg long. Float just above the floor. Bend your knee like you're just about to bring your foot to the top of your knee. It's floating just above my knee. I've spiraled my knee inwards, my foot inwards, my knee outwards. And lean into it, like just kind of what directions could you expand into here? And then stretch your leg long. Nice, last one. Draw your foot towards the top of your right knee. Where could you deepen into this? Where do you have more range in this? And then bring the baby toe side of your foot to the floor. And then imagine you can bring your left foot to your right shoulder. How would you get your left foot to your right shoulder? Baby toe side of your foot to the floor. And get your foot to your shoulder. Like just kind of everything in me is going, how? How would I do that? Foot to the floor. And then how would I get my foot closer? So my right leg is engaging now. I feel something in my belly starting to work in a different way. It's like I'm recruiting loads of different parts of my body to get my left foot closer to my right shoulder. And then foot to the floor. Nice. Stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. And if you have your belt, grab your belt. Bring your foot around, the belt around your foot. And then create weight into your leg by just holding on and then relaxing your arms. And then feel the weight in the ball of your foot and then push the ball of your foot towards the ceiling and then pull the ball of your foot towards your face. So you're just feeling the resistance of the belt. And so I'm going to close my eyes. So I'm just imagining that all there is the movement of my foot pushing into the belt and then the belt pulling into my foot. Foot pushing into my belt and then the belt pulling into my foot. And I'm just really feeling into that resistance, that movement, that connection. Nice. So turn your right toes a little bit more towards the right. Genie meanie. And then turn your toes a little bit towards the left. So the whole leg turns inwards. Turn your whole leg outwards. So your toes are pointing more towards your right shoulder, towards the right. And then turn your whole leg inwards. So how do you turn out and then turn in? Turn out, pause there. So there's always like it's like a musical instrument. There's not one string that's better than the other. There's not one way of playing it that's better than any other. It's like so many options. So right now, turning our foot outwards is another option of engagement. Nice change. Bring your left foot into your belt. The ball of your foot is resting into your belt. Your hands are holding, your shoulders are resting. And then push. So I'm going to close my eyes so I can really focus on the ball of my foot. So push the ball of your foot into your belt and then pull your belt towards you. So pull the foot towards you. Push into the belt and then pull. Push. Pull. Interesting. I can feel my lower back changing as I push, and I can feel my lower back changing as I pull. There's a different engagement through the deep psoas, the pelvic floor, the lower back in the gesture of being pulled and the push. Pull and push. Nice. Turn the whole of your foot. So turn your foot towards the left, which is the whole leg turning left, a bit like ballet or Charlie Chaplin. Turn your foot outwards like Charlie Chaplin. Oh, my feet are filthy. I was down in the river this morning, but I've mowed the lawn, so I'm covered in lawn mowings. And then turn your toes inwards. Nice. Turn your whole leg and toes outwards towards the left, and then turn your whole leg and toes inwards towards the right. And then pause towards the left. Breathe into that. Nice. Release. Oh, that turning outwards is really interesting. Interesting. Agony. Often think, yoga is like, how many different ways can we like create agony in our body? So come sit and roll into your ankles. It's not always agony, but we do tend to lean into the places that are unmet or unseen or unraveled. So we're always trying to unravel or unpack or see more of ourselves. And it's not good or bad, it just is. And then roll in the other direction. So when we were upright with our legs towards the ceiling, draw your toes towards you and then turn your two toes outwards. And again, I feel that intensity down my legs in a different way. And then turn your two toes inwards. And that feels also different. Turn your toes outwards and sit up tall. Nice. Super. So lean your left hand over towards the left and then bend both knees so that your knees are bending towards the left and your feet are towards the right. And then sit up tall. And just have a sense of there's more weight into the left buttock. There's a side bend in your right waist. Your shoulders are trying to come to even, which is what we do in life. We're always like, I'm not going to travel around sideways. I will adapt. These are holding patterns in the body. We adapt to somewhat even though other things aren't. So imagine or do that you can lift your right foot off the floor. You can lean your hands forward as you do it. You can lean your left hand over. You can have no hands on the floor. And then lift your right knee off the floor. Lift your right foot off the floor. Lift your right knee off the floor. So how much support do you need for you to lift your knee off the floor or to lift your foot off the floor? And Colette, if you're with me, you can straighten your leg for this and that you're just turning your foot inwards and outwards. You don't have to bend that right knee. I love knowing all your little bits and bobs, all you guys. I'm like, oh yes, Hillary, your shoulder. Oh, Neve, your shoulder. So always attending to minding the places in you that need to be minded. Okay, so lift your right knee and try and push your right foot into the floor. You can have your hands back. You can have no hands down. See what level of engagement you need or you can do. And you're imagining that your right knee is moving away towards the right and that you're pushing the baby toe side of your right foot into the floor. I'm going to stretch my arms out long in front of me. So I'm really using my whole body. Nice. Drop your knee to the floor. Bring both hands either side of that left knee. Drop your head down and draw your nose down towards your knee. And then really sink your weight deeply down into that left thigh. If you wish, you can stretch your back leg long to come into a pigeon pose, or stay where you are, or stretch it out a little bit more. So the more you lengthen into that back leg, the more you rock your pelvis towards the floor. It's harder on your knee. There's different places that are stretched. So just feel, what is the way or the shape that suits you this morning? You can, if you want, reach your arms out long. And really deepen. So how do you sink your weight? Often I find that I begin to resist the weight of me. So I'm holding myself up with an elbow or with a contraction. Whereas how could I really deepen and soften into the weight of my chest onto my left thigh? Nice. Sliding your hands back. Stretch both legs long in front of you. Change sides. So lean over towards the right. Bring both knees over towards the right, feet towards the left. And again, you can bring your right hand to the floor, lift your left foot up, and then lift your left knee up. You can do all of that with your hands in the air as well. If you're doing hands in the air, notice how you need to move your hands. They will be different with your knee lifting than your foot lifting. The weight of your body is utterly different. The center of gravity changes as you travel. Knee lifts. Where does that go to? Foot lifts. Knee lifts. And foot lifts. One more time. Knee lifts, pause there. Again, you can have your hands behind you if you need to, or you can have your hands in some position that feels engaging. For me, I'm going to make fists out of my hands and reach my hands forward, rising through my spine. So these movements, these leaning into the range of motion, creating strength rather than just flexibility, are based on a technique called stretching. So kinesiology, which is the muscle connections of your body. So the muscle connections stretching. So it's strengthening, increasing range of motion, really strengthening range of motion rather than just having some kind of importance on flexibility. Flexibility in itself isn't any good for us, actually. You need stability, balance, strength, flexibility, power in your range. Nice. Drop your knee down. Bring both hands down either side of the right knee. And drop your head down towards the right knee. You can reach your arms out long. You can reach that left leg back to whatever. Find kind of a sweet spot for that left leg. I'm really random on how you might put it. I kind of go, oh, it feels really nice there for me today. Now I'm going to settle in. And drop your weight deeply into that right thigh. So I'm working out the next month already, so for June. And I've been reading, kind of leaning into research around engagement of our legs. Hence, we're working already into our legs, and how, as we get older, leg engagement is so important. Leg strength is so important. Nice. Come all the way up. Stretch your legs out long. Super cool. So take your right leg and bring your right foot over the top of your left knee. And then walk your right foot out to the side as far to the left as you can. Bring your fingers wide and sit up tall. And as I sit up tall, kind of lean my belly towards my thighs. And as I do that, I feel that wrapping of the right thigh. And then walk your hands forward and out, and imagine you can bring your nose to your right knee. And so the left leg is straight and it's been pushed straight by the right leg. So forward bending here, you'll feel the left leg, but also that spiraling or that torsion into the right leg. So just breathe, arms are wide, chest and belly are moving forward. Nice, coming up. Change, take the left leg, bring it across. Walk your left foot as far to the right as it'll go. Sit up tall, kind of feel like as you sit up tall that you fill into the belly rather than being rounded backwards. So maybe this is the work for you to just, how do you sit up tall here? So that's the most important part is upright, belly moving forward, spine lengthening. And then also maybe you have forward a little bit more, but my chest and my belly are moving forward rather than rounding of my head downwards. So keep your head up, keep your chest up, and lean forward with your belly. So feeling that deeply through the torso, feeling that deeply through that right leg, through the left buttock. Nice. Stretch your legs out long and just go for a bit of a run. Bend and stretch your legs a few times, just so that they get back into normal, natural tracking. Cross your ankles, or whichever cross-legged position you want to do, and just bring your right hand behind your lower back and sit up tall. Widen into your chest. So you can have your legs whatever way feels comfortable for you. They could be straight out, you could be cross-legged. See what's right. Nice, change. Bring your left hand behind your lower back. Nice, twist towards the right. And then twist towards the left. Nice, come lie on the floor if you wish, or sit upright and bring your hands to your heart. I was thinking about that notion of, the planting, what seeds am I planting? And therefore, what will I harvest in the future? And then I was thinking, how do I find that in my daily life? How do I find that in what I'm doing? Like, what seeds am I planting? And then I realized it's in what am I saying yes to? What are my boundaries? What am I implicitly and explicitly defining as my limits? And whatever that is, if somebody says to me something and I go no problem, then that's the seed that I'm planting, that it's perceived as being no problem and it has no value. Or if I say, oh no, actually that's actually a boundary of mine, and no, then that's me tending to what I have or defining the boundary of what it is that I want to cultivate in the future. So yeah, so what are your boundaries? What are your limits? What creates wellness for you? What are you tending to in the deep of you? What are you cultivating? What are you saying yes to? And what are you actively saying no to in a really wholesome and healthy way? Yeah, boundaries. Boundaries. So I'll see you all tomorrow. And great. Thanks for joining me. Ciao, ciao.